In this video, we will see dictionary data type. So to create a dictionary data type, I can simply give D equal to open and close curly braces. This will create an empty dictionary. If at all, if I want to create a dictionary with values, then I have to give key colon some value. So note here, it will store pairs of values, unlike other data types. Other data types only singular value will be there, but here pairs of values will be there. The pair 1 colon pair 2. So instead of calling pair 1 and pair 2, here I will name it as the first part will be called as key and the second part will be called as value. So this together forms the key value pairs. So I can store multiple key value pairs like this in this particular dictionary data format. And also I can have any data type in keys location and any data type in values location as well. So say in this case I can even store string and value 4 here. So the key and values data types are interchanged and stored in this position, but this is not a good practice. We will not store it this way because there will be lot of confusion while trying to read and access the value. But just get the point, any data type can be part of key and part of value as well. So that is the intention of mentioning this. So what I will do is I will add one more key value pair and then execute this. So my dictionary D has got created and there is no output resulting out of this dictionary. To access any value of dictionary, I can use the function d.keys. So d.keys will return all the keys portion alone. So there are 3 values, 1, 2, 3 are part of keys. To extract that alone, I can use this method. To extract values alone, I can give d.values. This will return the values portion of the dictionary. So all the values were 1, 2, 3 were part of the values portion in the created dictionary. To retrieve it as pairs of items itself, I have to give d.items. So this will return pairs of items of every key value pair. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 are pairs of values, and if you notice they are inside a curved bracket, so meaning they are tuples. So every key value pair together forms the tuples, and this collection of tuples is stored inside a list element. So that is how a dictionary's values are organized inside. So the next method part of dictionary what we will see is so from the beginning, if we see .clear, dictionary .clear will remove all the values of dictionary. It is similar to set or a list data type. .copy, that is also behaves same as the dictionary. Okay. The next we will see get command. So before from keys, I will come to it at the later point of time. We will see get command first. So I want to fetch any particular value of a specific key. Say I want to get value of key element 3. Then I can give d.get 3. So this will return a value for the specific key that stands for d.get to retrieve a keys value portion of it. So items we saw, keys we saw. Next is pop. Pop is the same. It is to remove a specified key from the dictionary. Say in this case, if I want to remove element 2, so it will remove d.pop will remove key value 2 from the dictionary, and if I am going to check 2:2, that pair will not be present in my dictionary. So if I am going to give print of d and check, the key 2 and its value will be missing here. So pop, and within pop method within brackets have to give the key value also. That is how pop behaves in dictionary method. And pop item, it will return the last element. Okay, so pop item by default removes the last element from d.pop item. So in this case 3 was present last, so 3, 3 is removed as part of pop item, and if there is no values at all in dictionary, it will return a error message. So in this case, let's see what are the current elements of dictionary. If I am going to put print of D and execute, so it's giving 1:1. If I'm going to further remove D dot pop item, open close brackets, it will remove this particular value also. If I'm going to print the dictionary now, it will be actually empty. So right now there is no values at all in my dictionary. So let me recreate the dictionary again, because to see our further commands we need some dictionary values. So what I will do, I will add these values now. I am adding the same set of values as well. Okay, so the next command in place, what we have is, we saw pop item, we saw update, we will see the next thing. So for update, to add any more values to a dictionary, we can use update. Similar to update as in set data type. So within the method curved braces, I can give some curly braces, and here I can give either single or multiple pairs of values I can introduce. Say 4 colon within brackets 4 and comma 5 colon within brackets 5. So these are, I'm adding 4 and 5 as two other values, and I'm going to print this particular dictionary. Let me remove this statement and execute. So this will produce 4 and 5. Okay, so I did a mistake. It's nothing big. The initial dictionary was empty, it was not containing any values. So I just added 4 and 5 elements alone to the d.update command. Next we will see the from keys and set default method. So to first make use of set default method is to assign a particular value to a key. We can make use of set default. Say for example, I want to assign a value of say something like k comma 99. So there is a value called k I am introducing as the key here. So I need to give it inside double quotes. Since it's a string letter, I have to give it in a double or a single quote, and value as 99. This will simply create a element inside D. So inside dictionary, element called k and its value 99 will be stored inside, and then we will be able to access it at a later point of time. Likewise, so D within brackets k, and if I am going to print this, I can access the value of k. Okay, I did not give the brackets here, so within double quotes brackets k I need to give. So my 99 will be returned. So this is nothing but my dictionary output, I am accessing it. This is just a simple d.get command. So in addition to 4 and 5, I have added value k also to the dictionary this way. So it is similar to update command. There is no specific reason why we should use set default in this manner. Okay, so set default will create a value and assign a create a key and assign a value to it. That's what set default will all do by itself. Next we will see creating a dictionary from keys already available. So this is called as, this we will make use of from keys method for this. So what I will have to do is, I need to have a dictionary in place first of all. So I'll create an empty dictionary and d1 dot from keys, and within that bracket I need to give some collections, give some iterable collection. So here I give a tuple element where I can iterate one after the other elements, or it can be a list or set data type also. So here d1 dot from keys within bracket 1 comma 2 comma 3. So what will this do is create a dictionary. It will create and return a dictionary such that 1, 2 and 3 are keys of this particular dictionary. So this output I have to store it into the same dictionary, only then it will get updated. So when I print this and see, my output will be something like this: 1 colon none, 2 none and 3 none. So what it is actually doing is, this 1, 2, 3 values are forming the keys of this newly created dictionary, and it will not assign any values to it. To assign the values, we can manually assign it. Say like this: d1 within square brackets 1, I can assign a value for this thing. Like say if I want to put 85 in 1 for registration number 1, I can store it like this. So if I execute and see, the value of D1, it would have got updated. Say for place 1, 85 is got updated. Yeah, so with this I'm completing the dictionary topic. Next we'll see the further topics in the next lesson.